You are holding a phone right now, and there is a very good chance you paid 2 to 3 times more than you needed to for the experience you are actually getting. Blind tested, benchmarked, documented across thousands of independent reviews and forums the brands hope you never visit. They engineered the marketing, raised the price every September, and counted on the logo doing the rest. The difference between a $15 burner phone and a $48.5 million smartphone has almost nothing to do with what happens when you tap the screen. These are the 7 levels of smartphones. By the end of this, you will know exactly where your money makes sense and where it simply buys a very expensive story. Let's start at the very bottom, and I mean rock bottom. Level 1. Feature phones and ultra budget. $0 to $50. The Nokia 105. 21 days of standby battery, physical buttons, no apps, no camera worth mentioning, no Instagram, no TikTok, no group chats that send you 47 memes before 9 a.m. Just calls, texts, and an alarm clock that actually goes off when you set it, which, if we are being honest, is more than some of us can say about our $1,299 flagship. Here is what most people miss about Level 1. These phones are not failed attempts at making a smartphone. They are purpose-built for reliability. The Moto G Play at Level 2 has a 5,000 mAh battery and lasts 2 days. The Nokia 105 at Level 1 lasts 21. The $15 phone wins that round by a factor of 10 and costs $99 less. I am not saying you should live here. I am saying you should at least appreciate what you are walking away from before you spend $1,000 to replace it. Level 1 also connects more people to communication than any other tier on this list. The Nokia 105 is the best-selling phone model in history by unit volume. More humans have held a Level 1 phone than any other device on this list combined. That matters, even if the selfie camera is terrible. Level 2. Budget smartphones, $50 to $200. The Moto G Play at $149. The Samsung Galaxy A16 at $199. Full touchscreen Android. Every app on the planet. A camera that takes photos people will actually look at, and a price tag that makes most flagship accessories look like a personal insult. Ruben Castillo, a Motorola engineer who worked on the Moto G line for 6 years, gave an interview in 2023 where he said the G series was designed around a single question. What does a phone need to do to not embarrass someone in front of their friends? Battery that lasts the whole day. Camera that takes a decent birthday photo. Apps that open without making you want to throw it across the room. Everything else was noise. That philosophy produced one of the most consistently recommended phones in America for under $200. I find that kind of design honesty genuinely refreshing in an industry that spends most of its energy convincing you to want more. Honest take. For 60% of smartphone users, Level 2 is already more phone than they actually need. Nobody making money sells you something by telling you that you need less. But somebody should. Level 3 is where it gets genuinely interesting. Level 3? Mid-range. $200 to $500. The sweet spot. The category where quality and value actually meet. And in 2026, where the most exciting things in smartphones are happening without anyone paying enough attention. The Google Pixel 9a at $499 is the phone I would personally buy today if I had to choose one. DxOMark, the independent camera benchmarking organization, ranked it 13th globally for photography. Not 13th in its price range, 13th in the world against every phone at every price. Mark Lavoie, one of the computational photography pioneers who built the foundation of Google's camera software before starting his own research lab, once said that the best camera is the one that understands what you were trying to photograph. The Pixel team took that idea seriously. A $499 phone ranking 13th globally is the proof that they were right. The Nothing Phone 3a Pro at $459 deserves a mention for sheer audacity. Carl Pei, the co-founder of OnePlus who left to start Nothing, built a brand around the idea that phone design had become boring. He put a transparent back on the 3A Pro so you can literally see the internals. Then he added a periscope zoom camera at a price where everyone else gives you a digital zoom that fools no one. Nothing makes me like it against my better judgment every time. If you are a student, a first-time buyer, or anyone who has ever looked at a $1,200 flagship and thought there has to be a better way. Level 3 is your answer. Drop your current phone in the comments. I want to know how many of you are already here and loving it. Level 4, the flagship killer, $500 to $800. Here is the thing nobody in the smartphone industry wants you to know. And I mean nobody, because knowing it costs them money. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, the chip Qualcomm produces and that Samsung puts inside the Galaxy S26 at $899, is also inside the OnePlus 15R at $700. Same chip, same architecture, same benchmark scores and controlled testing, different logo, $200 difference in price. The processor that the marketing department of a flagship brand presents to you as the pinnacle of mobile engineering is available 2 shelves down for significantly less. This is the smartphone version of discovering that the $290 Tom Ford fragrance and the $35 dupe are built around the same aromatic base, distributed by the same company to 2 different types of buyers. The gap is real, it is just much smaller than the price difference suggests. And Level 4 exists precisely because enough people figured this out. The OnePlus 15R at $700 is the clearest example of this principle built into a product. Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, a 7,400 mAh battery that lasts 2 full days under normal use, 80-watt charging, a 50-megapixel main camera that holds its own in daylight. OnePlus was founded in 2013 by Pete Lau with one idea: flagship performance at half the price. 13 years later, that idea is still the product, and it still works. The iPhone 17e at $599 is Apple's version of the same argument. Same A19 chip as the full iPhone 17. Same Face ID, same iOS 26. Real compromises on camera flexibility and display, but the core experience, the security architecture, the 7-year update window, entirely present. If you want iPhone without the iPhone ego tax, this is the honest entry point. My take: Level 4 is the best value in the entire market right now. 90% of flagship performance at 55% of flagship price. The remaining 10% is what levels 5 and 6 are actually for. If this is making you reconsider your next upgrade, hit subscribe, because levels 5, 6, and 7 are where things get genuinely out of hand. Level 5, flagship, $800 to $1,300. Level 5 is where brands stop competing on value and start competing on experience. And the experience is excellent. It should be at this price. The iPhone 17 at $799 is the most broadly appealing phone Apple makes in 2026. ProMotion 120Hz, a 19-chip, dual 48-megapixel cameras, 7 years of updates. If you are upgrading from an iPhone 14 or older, the difference is real and you will feel it every day. If you are upgrading from a 16, you will feel it slightly. But your self-esteem will feel significantly better, which, if we are being honest, is also part of what Apple sells. I say that without judgment. It is a real product in the human experience. The Samsung Galaxy S26 at $899 is One UI 8 at its best. And One UI 8 is Samsung's best software in a decade. The display is extraordinary. The AI features have moved from impressive demos to things I actually use: real-time call translation, live note summarization, on-device photo editing that does not require sending your images to a server somewhere in Virginia. The Pixel 10 Pro at $999 is the choice I find hardest to argue against on pure merit. Best computational photography available for portraits and low light. 7 years of updates. Native AI running entirely on-device, and a camera interface that manages to be both the most powerful and the most approachable available on any platform. If you care about what you actually see in the photos more than what brand name is on the back, this is your answer. Here is the honest truth about Level 5. You are paying for quality and for the story in roughly equal measure. The best value is the Pixel 10 Pro. The most emotionally satisfying purchase, for reasons that are not entirely rational, and I say that with complete respect, is probably the iPhone. Level 6, Ultra Flagship, $1,300 to $2,500. At level 6, I need to tell you something the industry will never say in a product launch. The law of diminishing returns is fully operational here. The jump from level 2 to level 3 is dramatic. The jump from level 3 to level 4 is significant. The jump from level 5 to level 6 is real but incremental. You are paying twice the price of a level 4 phone for improvements that, in daily life, you will notice occasionally and appreciate genuinely, but never desperately need. That said, the iPhone 17 Pro Max at $1,299 is the best video recording device available in any smartphone from any manufacturer at any price. Cinematographers have shot short films on it. Apple distributes those films at major festivals as marketing. But the films are real, the awards they win are real, and the capability that produced them is real. If you shoot professional or semi-professional video on your phone, this is the benchmark the entire industry measures against. The A19 Pro. Triple 48-megapixel cameras. 39 hours of video playback. It earns its price for a specific user. The Galaxy S26 Ultra at $1,299 has a built-in S Pen stylus and the finest display panel available in consumer electronics. A Samsung-made screen so good that Apple buys it for the iPhone Pro Max. Stop and think about that for a moment. The display Apple uses in its own $1,299 flagship is manufactured by Samsung, the company that also sells the phone competing directly against it. The smartphone industry is a strange place. The S26 Ultra uses that display at its absolute best, with 3 app windows running simultaneously and AI features deep enough to genuinely replace a tablet workflow. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra at around $1,500 features a 1-inch main sensor and the largest in any current smartphone, co-developed with Leica. DxOMark places it consistently in the global top 3. Xiaomi operates on a near-zero hardware margin by corporate policy. The result is more camera engineering per dollar than either Apple or Samsung delivers at any comparable price. It is the quiet overachiever that the Western market has not fully discovered yet. Give it 2 years. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 at around $1,900 is the phone I was most wrong about. I thought foldables were a gimmick in 2019. Samsung kept iterating. The hinge is now invisible. The crease in the display is gone. Running 3 apps on an unfolded 7-inch screen is not a feature that sounds useful. It is a feature that rearranges how you work once you have tried it. I was wrong. Samsung was patient. They won that argument. Level 6 is for people with a specific, nameable reason to be here. If you can name yours, every dollar is justified. If you cannot, the honest answer is level 4 or 5. Level 7. Collector grade. $10,000 to $48,500,000. We have officially left the smartphone market. At this level, nobody is buying a phone. They are buying something else entirely. The Caviar iPhone 17 Pro Max Gold Collection starts at $67,640. Solid 18-karat gold case. 3 units in existence. It runs the exact same iOS as the $1,299 model, sitting 3 feet away at the Apple Store. Same apps, same chip. What you are paying for is the weight of the gold in your palm and the knowledge that 8 other humans on the planet own something vaguely similar. The Virtu MetaVirtu 2 at $41,000 goes further. It includes a 24/7 human concierge, not an AI, a person. Available at 3 a.m. to reroute your flight or secure a dinner reservation in Tokyo. Rich people are not stupid. They are solving different problems. And then there is the number I need you to stop and sit with. The Falcon Supernova iPhone 6, Pink Diamond Edition. $48,500,000. The base device is a 2014 iPhone that Apple no longer supports, that cannot run many of today's apps, and that a $199 Moto G Play from level 2 would outperform in a benchmark. The body is 24-karat gold. Set into the back is a large natural pink diamond, owned by Nita Ambani, wife of Asia's richest man. The Argyle mine in Australia, which produced 90% of the world's pink diamonds, closed permanently in 2020. The supply is finite. The diamond gets rarer every year. What costs $48.5 million is not the phone. The phone is just the display case. The world's most expensive phone cannot update its software. Make of that what you will. So where does all of this leave you? The sweet spot sits between levels 3 and 5. Mid-range through flagship, $300 to $1,000, where quality and value actually align. Spend time at level 3 to understand what you care about: camera output, battery longevity, software cleanliness, ecosystem integration. Move to level 4 when you want near flagship performance without what I call the flagship ego tax. Step into level 5 when you have a specific need only the best hardware can meet, or when you simply want the best and can afford it without rationalizing the decision to yourself at midnight. Unless you have a professional workflow that demands level 6 or a geological event budget for level 7. Stopping at 5 is the honest answer for almost everyone. The best smartphone is the one that solves the problems you actually have. Everything else is just a very expensive story about the person you want to be. Drop your current level in the comments. And if you think I placed something in the wrong category, like especially that level 7, tell me exactly why. Because that conversation is the whole point.